How are we doing again, folks? We have another review for you, another tent review. This time it is going to be over the Halo, or the Marmot Halo 6-person tent. It is a fairly large tent, great family car camping tent. If you're looking for a car camping tent that's high quality for your family, this is the one to go to rather than the Coleman and the other uh, lower quality tents out there. The capacity obviously is a 6-person tent, so 6 people. The maximum weight, the packed weight that it comes at is 19 pounds 7 ounces. Minimum weight, you can get it down to 18 pounds 15 ounces according to Marmot. The packed size is 14 inches by 25 inches long, so it's not a small tent by any means. It's a fairly large tent even when packed up. The actual floor print is 10 feet by 10 feet, so you're looking at 100 square feet of floor area. The vestibules, it has 2 vestibules. Total vestibule area is 32 square feet. And they are both the exact same size, so you're looking at about 16 square feet per vestibule. So actually quite large vestibule areas for your tents, coolers, whatever you got you want to throw in there. You have plenty of room. It has 4 tent poles, 2 for the main part of the tent, and then the other 2 are the Halo poles that pull the sidewalls out. Really nice. High quality, lightweight aluminum poles, but they are fairly large. We'll go through all that in the review, and with that said, you can only, even though it is a freestanding tent, you're not going to be able to set up just the rain fly with the bottom. But this is a car camping tent, so you're not going to be looking to do that anyway. So, with that said, we'll go ahead and get down in the yard here, and we'll get it set up. And Phil and I will also walk through with you and give our review. And hope you enjoy. This is our second review, so if you have any questions, comments, please let us know. Okay, this is the setup of the Marmot Halo 6-person tent. First, I'll put down my ground cloth. And then following that, we'll set up the tent. I'm going to do this as a 1-person setup, so you kind of get an idea of how long it would take. It is set up. You can set it up with 1 person. You probably should be versed in how to set up tents, but you can set it up. With that said, I'll just get to setting it up. And that is the setup of the Marmot Halo 6-person tent. You can see it does take a little longer than other smaller tents, but for a very large 6-person tent, it was a very easy, fast setup, even with 1 person. With 2 people, you could obviously see that it would take a lot less time, especially when you're putting on the rain fly. You don't have to chuck it up and over. So yeah, that was the setup. Okay, so obviously we'll do a 360 walk around of the tent. This is obviously where we were an open vestibule currently. You have both the side vestibules areas too. You could probably get something small under there. Not a whole lot of protection from the sides, obviously. You have 2 vents on each side, actually. They both prop up, and all 4 of them prop up. It is a mirror image tent, so the other side is the exact same as the previous side. And you get a nice full vestibule on each side. And like I said, there's the other 2 vents, another side vestibule area. And like we also said, there's the guy points on all 4 corners. So let's take a peek inside here in the vestibule area. You do have a decent sized vestibule. Like I said earlier, here are the Velcro mounting points for right at the guide line points, so you can actually secure those to the poles. I'm not going to do that in the review situation here. And then of course here's where all the hookups are, and the sleeves are up above. So inside here, basically the entire top is all mesh for the most part. You do have the standard loops for lights or other things to hang from the top. There are 4 additional points if you had a gear hammock, so a total of 5 points up above. Nice size. Obviously I am 5'11", and I mean there's more than ample space between me and the top. You do also have closable side vents. They do have a zipper along the entire top, so you can close them up or open them up, and they have the necessary loops to keep them bound up so they don't flop in the breeze if you do have one. Plenty of gear storage. You actually have 4 pockets on each side of the tent, on each of the opposite corners. Then the opposite corners of those have the pockets for the doors, which you could actually use to store some light gear in as well. Other than that, that's pretty much the tent. It's a very large tent. In my personal situation so far, I have a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old. We actually had our pack and play, our full pack and play up in this corner. The opposite corner over here, my 4-year-old daughter was sleeping. And then in the back side of the tent, my wife and I had basically that whole corner. We had plenty of room for packs and all sorts of stuff in here. And then the whole center of the tent basically was open for walking and storage and other things. You have more than ample storage in here. Specifically for a small family, you are just fine. There is a lot of floor area. So, with that said, that is the interior of the Marmot Halo 6-person tent. Okay, so this is the Marmot Halo 6 tent, obviously. It is a 6-person tent, hence the 6-person Halo. It is a fairly large tent. Full rain fly over standard tent. It's more of a 3-season. It's obviously more of a car camping tent. It's pretty heavy. It's not light, and pretty bulky. But here she is.
We were talking some of the things that we like the most about it. It does have the nice rectangular bottom, so you can maximize all the space. We'll show you in a little bit here, but it's got lots of interior gear storage options, including easy ways to tuck in the doors, things like that. It does have 2 doors on the tent, so easy access in and out with plenty of storage space in the front and rear vestibules. We like the fact that it does have guy lines on the fly. Personally, I'd like to see them mounted maybe a little bit higher for stability. This tent, you're probably not going to take it mountaineering or anything, but there is a lot of volume on the tent, therefore you get a lot of spots for the wind to push on, things like that. It does come with nice stakes. That's something that you don't normally see tents. You normally need to upgrade those, but these come with some nice lightweight stakes to start with. And overall setup was actually relatively quick considering the size of the tent.
Yeah, it's some of the things that I would like to see changed. Obviously, with a tent of this size, you're going to have up to 6 people in it, maybe even more. You could, with kids, you could get more in here. I would like to see maybe, they have a lot of air movement through the tent. I would like to see probably the standard. This is a single piece door, netting on top, solid on the bottom. I'd like to see a full netted door and a full solid door, so when it's warmer out, obviously. And that way you could it still has the nice door pocket on the side that you could just keep that full door, on the inside rather than netted on the inside, obviously. Or maybe you put another pocket on the outside for that door. Other than that, there's not a whole lot that I would personally change. It's actually a really nice tent. That's the reason I chose it. I personally like to have this nice high bottom door sill plate, or whatever you want to call it. I like to have this a little higher like it is here. like Phil was saying to me, you know, that's a possible trip specifically for kids and car camping. But I always like it just because of, you know, when it's dumping water, you know, in car camping situations, you're going to be in more of a flatter area. You can get a lot of water running, and just keeps the water out of tent, even though you have the rain fly on it. We've been in a situation actually with a canvas tent where there was water coming in the tent. So I always personally like to have this higher sill here. With the guy lines, I'm okay with them being here. Phil likes them a little higher. I can understand that as well, but at least they do have the Velcro ties on the other side of the guy line points that actually ties to the tent poles. All in all, I think Marmot did a fantastic job. Showed why I actually chose this tent. It's very spacious. I mean, we'll show you here in a minute, but I mean, I can easily stand up. I mean, I can almost do jumping jacks in here, and I'm almost 6 foot tall, so it's nice sized door openings, nice sized tent, very comfortable, very roomy, very good airflow. We really do like how the vents work on the side here. They actually have little poles that actually mount onto the Velcro, so when you can actually prop it open to keep more airflow going, or if you don't need that, you just basically push that on the inside, you do that from here, and then you Velcro it shut, so you don't get as much airflow, so it's a little cooler in the tent. You can just shut them up. Or I guess if it's more horizontal rain, you can shut them up so you don't get air water coming through the vents. But other than that, even for a single person, the tent sets up okay. I mean, it's not real complicated. It's, you know, they do have nice aluminum poles. I've read a lot of reviews and seen a lot of things that people have been tending to get a slight bend in the pole from typical setup. I haven't seen that personally yet, but I could actually see where you could actually do that. They are pretty beefy poles, but they are aluminum and they do bend. And if you maybe, you push, like if you watch on the video when you're actually pushing the tent up for the first time, you got to kind of pull those sleeves along with it. Otherwise, it tends to kink on you. And I think that's probably where a good possibility of people bending poles there. But that's just goes hand in hand with the sleeves. I can understand why the sleeves are there, because it'd be really hard to reach and clip. But typically, I'm not a big fan of sleeves. I like to have the clips rather than the sleeves. However, in this this specific situation, I don't know if the clips would work so much, specifically at the top where the sleeves are. So.
Yeah, overall we're very impressed. Obviously, the tent is marketed towards probably the family who might otherwise use a small pop-up camper or something like that. It's going to be multi-activity, that sort of thing, but it has the features and construction of some of the nicer backpacking or entry-level mountaineering tents. So if you're looking for a good quality tent for the whole family for the weekend getaway, Marmot's got it going on.
Absolutely. There's not a whole lot of tents in the 6-person market when you're talking about at least an affordable, high-quality tent. Most of the ones out there are the standard Coleman and other ones you can get at a lot of the department stores around the area. But if you want a very nice, high-quality 6-person tent, the Halo 6 it's hard to pass up. Specifically, it's a really good tent for the value. So we have the rain fly off as we're tearing down here. Also wanted to show you one other thing. When you have this large tent, to clean it out is really a breeze, actually. Specifically with how they have it mounted. The ground cloth might come out because I don't have the rain fly hooked to it anymore. But I mean, you can literally just tip it up and just shake all of the dirt out of it. Even if you had to climb inside to clean it out and make sure all of it comes out through the door. I mean, obviously that is one heck of a nice feature of a large tent. Makes cleaning a breeze. So with that said, that's our review. Hope you enjoyed it. Please comment below, subscribe above. If you have anything that you want to know, you can check us out online, campgeeks.com. If you have any recommendations for future reviews, please let us know. If you have anything that you want to send us to review, by all means, check us out on our website, or we have a contact page on there. But again, check out the website, campgeeks.com, and make sure you subscribe. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.